So everyone, and welcome back to another Thursday. I hope you all are thirsty, because today we have more sermons to check out. And we come through Siegfried and Nero last time. And we have, I don't know who it is next, so I'm curious actually. So, okay, there's Siegfried, and then we have Gaius Julius Caesar? What? I didn't expect that. Like, the only fat character in the game. Yes. Makes sense.
Oh, well spoke, and a well-spoken handsome devil.
I mean, otherwise I kind of like his design. Cause I really like with the armor and all of that. Even if they obviously fatten him up and all. And his face is literally screaming douche. In many ways. And I kind of like the idea of it, but at the same time I wonder, why this marble arm? Is there a reason for that? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's pretty cool. You know, I could easily see that, and he holding his sword and like, yeah. But he using his normal arm for the sword instead. Like, why do you turn into a super arm? Is there a reason for that? Well, ain't he shonky? Look at those. Wait, his legs turn to marble stuff as well? I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. Holy crap. I assume it's based on the idea of, you know, the marble statues that is pretty famous on the Roman emperors and stuff like that. Wow. He's chunky. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy they have a chunky character in this game. I wish they had more. And I would actually like to see an rider Caesar. I mean, sure, he wasn't an emperor per se, because it happened after him, I think. But he's such a monumental character in history. And I think most of us, when we hear thinking of Rome, we're thinking of Caesar. Probably not today, because today you're probably thinking of Nero, because that kind of infested, but you know. Yeah. Alignment true neutral. Europe, height 168. Holy shit, he showed. And 154 kilo. Wow, that's a lot. Character creator Hikaru Sakurai. So Sakurai created... Ooh, I didn't know that. Shima Drill? What? That's a funky name. Character voice Ryotaro Okayu. May appearance in main work frequent. Strength. Wow. Constitution B. Agility. Agility B? I didn't expect that. Considering his body shape, you don't expect that. Magical power D. Luck C. Noble fantasy B+. Dude, considering him in the game, you really don't get the feeling of these stats. Like, yikes, his stats are insane, actually. I mean, they are very balanced. I mean, he's generally pretty good in all, well, except magical power and luck. But otherwise, it's like B and above. Magic resistance C, no fast spell. Oh god. A shunt of 2 verses or below. Cannot defend against something large scale like great magecraft and ritual spells. Riding B. It is possible for one to manage most vehicles and beasts. Regarding phantasm kind, however, they are not able to manage them. Divinity. A descendant of the goddess Venus and defied after he died. Caesar's divine spirit aptitude despite the low rank. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know he actually was a divinity. Holy crap. Though... Why is he... Then I feel weird a little bit. Why his magic resistance is so low, while Artorias is insanely high. I mean, I feel like, considering he's being a divinity even, having being divine, his magical resistance would feel like it would be higher, I guess. Personal skills, military tactics B. An instinctive ability for utilizing tactical knowledge in battlefields where a large number of people are mobilized. An adventurous modifier is acquired when using an on one's own anti-army noble phantasm, or when conversely dealing with an opposing anti-army noble phantasm. Caesar's ingenuity and meritorious military exploits that led his troops to victory in many battles during his lifetime have been chained into his skill. Charisma C, the natural talent to command an army. The one levels charisma's nature. Having received the Roman Caesar's fanatical support, displaying his conspicuous exploits in the Gallic Wars as a general too, there's no need to say if Caesar is charismatic or not. And they gave him C? Like, and military tactic B? I feel like those skills doesn't really, I mean, obviously they can't put a good stat on a fat guy, obviously not. Incitement AEX. Wow. The acquisition of the words and the gestures will lead many of the masses as citizen, especially in the case where it's employed against an individual. It functions as some sort of mental attack. That is pretty broad. But does it? How does it work with charisma? I mean, it feels like, if anything, charisma should be even higher now because of this. That ability in itself buffs up Caesar's ability, because that is the thing. There's two things I have learned about Caesar in the game. And first is, he's fat. Second is that him and Cleopatra is a thing. Wait. The third thing, there was three things. And the third is that he's literally is known for being a smooth talker. He's being able to talk away and being very charismatic and all. And I mean, obviously it's about the incentment thing playing there, but doesn't that affect charisma? I feel like that is something just wrong. I feel like at least give him an A. I think that is definitely, I mean, and military attack, I probably would put an A as well, because he was known for being pretty much a genius. He put all the goals under him pretty much, you know? Oh well, that is my ass being a bit thinking like, it doesn't match up. It probably do, it just be overthinking dumb shit as usual. And noble phantasm, Croquia Mors Jalavdev. That sounds incredible racist. I was okay. Rank B, type anti-personnel, range 1 to 2, maximum number of targets, 1 person. A golden sword, when its true name is released after the first strike that automatically hits the target. Luck checks are conducted until one fails, and it becomes possible for this attack to be granted an additional guaranteed strike, no more than the number of checks that continually succeed. A super consecutive attack. In close combat, there's no doubt that this has the power of certain victory for the moment the enemy see it. I came, I saw, I conquered. But Caesar himself does not overly feel like drawing out his sword. While he was alive, it appeared that he will never forget how he lost his sword as he carelessly got stuck in an enemy's shield. I assume that is why his luck is so low. I guess. But I would actually like that. I actually like the idea of his MP. Like, well, this is literally D&D all over. Like, well, roll luck check. Well, you fuck. Boink. Nah! And obviously I could understand that he wouldn't want to use that MP. I mean, something that is based about luck is something that is like, shouldn't trust on that too much. Yeah. And oh my god, cat, you shit like a champ. Ooh. That's smelly. Smelly cat. Smelly cat. Personality. God damn it! Thanks for the subscription, oh, but my god, my heart. A cunning man, an ambitious person, one who excels at trickery. His gaze is perceptive, hiding a bodilessness and dangerousness that one cannot neglect. Being a man endowed with great ambition and intelligence on ought to be afraid of. Caesar is a master of ingenuity and speech. Speech, 100. A genius of incitement, having himself chained into a heroic spirit, his superior intellect that led him to victory in many battlefields is being expressed as his retention of high rank in military tactical skill. And he only got B? Who the heck got an A then? I mean, I feel like he at least would have an A. I mean, they're literally screaming here, superior intellect, he's so freaking smart, extremely charismatic, and his history and all that, so... Now I don't know how they rate these points, like, how much is A and B considered, like... So maybe it is correct, and I'm just blabbering out my ass or something like that, but... Caesar's fondness for women. He also likes Rome. He likes the succession Roman emperors in general. Naturally, he likes Nero too. He likes the world. He likes Cleopatra as well. And obviously, they needed to get Nero in this. Yeah, but he liked Cleopatra as well. But that is nice. Honestly, I would like that. I mean, seriously, I would actually like to make it a bit more serious stuff. You know, with that. Cleopatra and Caesar. And I'm pretty sure if they make like a Caesar rider or something like that, because I could see him as a rider or an rider, probably a rider, and he gonna be like slim and like insanely handsome. Everyone gonna love him, and the fat one is like in the corner, all forgotten, like
No one remembers Fat Caesar. No one likes him.
Caesar will fundamentally not betray his master.
I warn you in advance, master, to take care so that you won't get assassinated while you sleep, for that would be the result of your self-conceit.
Even if those words are expressed with mingled sarcasm, it's an advice out of his true feelings. Even though the numerous trickeries he committed during his lifetime even caused him to die in the end, Caesar is not regretting about that, since that was his own life. However, as he regrets having caused his beloved Cleopatra to shed tears, he thinks that it's troublesome to unravel plots even after becoming a heroic spirit and servant. Caesar's wish for the Holy Grail is to reunite Cleopatra and acknowledge both her and their son Caesarion, because he would be ready to shame among other things before long. Just let me embrace my son, my son. Why don't we see this in game? My God, suddenly Caesar is a much more interesting character. I know I find this a bit weird as well, though. I mean, here we have a man that obviously have very, very strong feeling for Cleopatra. Like, the only regret he had was that Cleopatra shed her tears for him, and his wish is to reunite with Cleopatra and acknowledge both her and their son. Like, damn. And then he's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go around and flirt wildly with every woman I see, like... You don't really get that feeling. I mean, sure, we have seen, like, in the Valentine's Day, like, how Cleopatra kind of, like, abusively take him and drag him, like, ah! And while he's trying to flirt with people and demands and whatnot. And I honestly would love it this much more if it was more like, I mean, there is a thing being, like, friendly, flirtatious, you know, like, you can do between your mates and stuff like that. And straight out like, yeah, you know, I'm ready to bet this one. As, like, the feeling I get for Caesar, like, he's ready to do some hot action. But I think this is such a waste of a very good character. This is good stuff, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, he isn't the most handsome character, because he's round. But then again... So am I, and I take that to heart. Something like that. But I think they could do so much more with this and make him more serious character than the joke that, well, the guy that we make fat jokes about, pretty much. You know? And that he getting pummeled by Cleopatra, and it's just a weird abusive relationship. But that it has to be. Oh,
It's beautiful, beautiful, truly beautiful. That beauty's worthy of Rome, the most valuable asset of the world. My life is wide and deep. Ask my ass. Men of lovers in my lifetime are natural, the fruits of my love. Saber? Saber. What kind of pretext is that to have me as a saber? Leaving the role of a foot soldier to me. This isn't called the practical use of optimal human resources, you know. Come on now, advance, the die is cast. I came, I saw. Wait. I think that was the wrong order. Whatever. One of the greatest heroes of ancient Rome, a figure of 1st century BC, an outstanding ruler and a general who won fame in the Gallic Wars, the Britannia campaign and so forth. Being at the center of the goddess Venus, this lady killer has been said to have had chivalry in relationship with both humans and fairies alike. He also known to be an English named Julius Caesar. Okay, I guess that is pretty much explaining the entire floating around stuff. But I'm thinking the problem I see now, though, is that you're getting these very mixed feelings, like the contradictions, like, oh, he's also for Cleopatra, but then he must flirt around with everything that moves, and like, it kind of feels like, as I mentioned before, that 2 points that kind of clash a bit there. I mean, I could seem like, I was long lost until I met my light Cleopatra. No other woman was like her. She stole my heart and my life. Something like that, you know, that, when he was a young hot gun and he slept around, whatever, and they flirt with fairies and stuff. But I think that is something that they could have worked more on, like making him this more deep and serious character, you know? I personally find it. And especially, I still find it like, and he's a 3-star servant. Like, then again, I mean, I know many characters like Blackbeard, for that example. Most famous pirate ever, like, I mean, if anyone think pirate, they Blackbeard. I mean, 2-star. Like, okay. But I'm thinking that, seeing this history, I mean, he did so many war campaigns, so successful. I could easily see him as a writer. Character image in Vagrant Order. A superpower that continues with wars and power struggle. Its name is Rome. If one wants to climb the ranks of the world's largest assembly, not only was strength based on a blade, as if the blade was a savage tribe of an unexplored territory, proven to be necessary, but so was going through conflict, caused accordingly by clash of sharpened intellects, an enormous vortex of cruelty, and then Caesar was born. Sometimes murdering, sometimes being murdered, all according to trickery. That was the state of the Roman ruling class. Although he temporarily went away from the capital of Rome, after Roman dictator Sulla had died, Caesar chose to plunge himself into the vortex of conspiracies. His first move was where he applied the impeachment of the corrupt governments who were oppressing the people of the Roman province. That thing that you can't do in the USA, apparently, if it's Donald Trump. But Caesar, he was on the right way there. With his voice, words, and hand movements. Now, oh God, now I realize, because when I'm talking, I usually move my hands, stuff like that. I am Julius Caesar incarnated. Daddy! He advocated that governing according to ill will must not come about. Which, really good, really true. Receiving tremendous support even during the time of the Roman consul, Caesar brought down the corrupt with nothing but his speech, his tongue. That is his sword, which was composed of his own truth. Honestly, considering that, I could actually see him as a caster even, you know? Not that he will use spells, but more like he using words that having a certain like magical feeling to it, you know? Jaha? Here you take liberties, don't you, Shan Li? But yeah, I think that would be pretty neat. The course of events afterwards was quite favorable. Politic at daytime, being down towards the masses, scheming at nighttime, killing his enemies while protecting his own life. These two courses of action continued to be repeated after being keeping up his successful career favorably. Caesar took up a new post as Roman governor of Hispania Tarraconensis. Wow. Immediately defeating a large number of rebellious forces that had yet to obey Rome, as well getting the better of the Orient, and after carrying out his triumph return, Caesar became a Roman consul. It was the beginning of the first triumvirate, something like that, and then it began, the Gallic Wars. Repeatedly crushing and suppressing his opposition, such as the Gauls, the Belgi, and the Germanic and the Aquitanians, and utterly defeating Britannia, occasionally even despite the hard battle. Caesar spent over several years to subjugate the whole land of Gaul. I mean, say what you want, but that was impressive as heck. He won fame as the strongest general, and he received tremendous support from the masses. After the death of Crassus, one of the three triumvirs, the great commander Pompey, the other people left in the three triumvirs, broke off relation with Caesar, and he was later assassinated. Caesar then became the most powerful person in Rome in both name and reality. And then Caesar met her by chance in Alexandria, the capital city of Egypt, Cleopatra, the queen, who is both the joint ruler with and the ceremonial wife of Ptolemy 13. It was love at first sight. He was 40, okay, 40, I thought about 14, like, what, wait, what? But his companion was a young girl separated by no less than 20 years in age. Speaking of her characteristic beauty, it's an iron resolution which showed to him that it was creeping into his foundation of his and resolved him. It is a uniqueness that regards comparatively highly of her own country and people. And it said as if these became the form of that temperament and pride of hers. Upon seeing that, Caesar swore to protect the beautiful young queen. For him who freely proceed with marriage as well as divorce, it is for the object of political strife. And for him who came to make a move on many women for fun, that was his first love. Yeah, that's sweet. Together with Cleopatra, Caesar dreamt of the second coming of the Roman Egyptian Empire. And it's endless that King Iskander once accomplished. Hey, Proscander! Thus he removed Ptolemy and subjugated Egypt. He invaded every kingdom around him, one after another, and he kept on gaining total control of the Roman Senate faction, lurking secretly in these countries. After gaining a total control of Hispania, he finally accomplished the subjugation of Rome. Caesar reigned over ancient Rome as the first Roman dictator in perpetuity, and he tells his beloved queen this: "There is now not a person who will hinder me. I'll seize all of Rome. In the event of the Parthian kingdom campaign being successful, I'll certainly welcome you as my wife officially, and I will show and announce Caesarea to the world far and wide as our son." However, that was not done. Caesar truly had all of Rome in his hand, but the vortex of cruelty surrounding Rome turned into something like a curse, and he did not allow the days of peace and love to continue. That is, it came in form of a single blade. Brutus! At the theater of Pompey, Brutus, his loyal retainer, became tool for the Roman Senate faction remnants, raised overhead a single knife and connection with characters. Dagger. Oh god. But see, that they even have the things here, like how he was, for him, freely proceed with marriage and for him who came to make move on many women for fun, this was his first love. And they even have it, and it's showing like how serious he was about this. I mean, literally, like, he conquered pretty much Egypt and everything, like, now we can be married. Yay, I love you. I mean, that is kind of extremes, but I would actually love to see Caesarion as a character in this game. Come on, that would be great. I would love that. That would be so cool. I think that would be cool. And Brutus, like Brutus as an assassin. Come on, we know we all want that. And I mean, considering that Brutus was loyal to Caesar, but he was kind of manipulated to do all of this, I can imagine him like a big emo and all that. Which is kind of fun because his name Brutus, I mean brute. Like, very brute and all that. It sounds like a very big masculine name.
And then it's a little short man with thin arms like twigs.
I could see that happen. Connection. Cleopatra, his beloved partner. Caesar regrets having died without fulfilling his promise of announcing Cleopatra far and wide as his wife, as well as acknowledging his son, Caesarion, as his own child. Caesar deeply loved Cleopatra even now after he transformed into a heroic spirit and servant. Although he has uttered with his mouth that it's a different story if there is a fine woman in front of him. Oh, but come on. That kind of ruins the entire thing. I would actually like it more if he had that thing for him. Like, if Cleopatra isn't there, sure, I can imagine. But if we had Cleopatra there, like, then he like, oh, my waifu. It's kind of a respected great. Together with Cleopatra, Caesar was dreaming of establishing a Roman and Egyptian empire as the second coming of the great empire that was one built up by Iskander. Romulus, the esteemed Roman divine founder. Without him, the Roman would be unable to exist. Nero, a cute descendant. Very cute. Loves her. Something like a grandchild to see. That is actually pretty cool actually. I can see that, like, he's not hitting on Nero like, you know, like, I want to fuck you, but more like, oh, you're like my cute grandchild. Ah, you're just lovely. And Nero's like, Umu, I take over the world. Oh, you're so adorable. You're like me. Oh, God. Galgul feels like seeing a younger brother. Even the moon goddess should be a little more considerate. Oh, now I want to see all of these, like, Romans hanging out and having a good time. And Romulus and Caesar, definitely, I feel wondering, like, why they aren't higher ranked servants, you know? I mean, especially Romulus, because he is pretty much a Romu. I mean, that is his shtick. And they're making him a pretty little bit of a wonky 3-star. I mean, he sure has his usage, and he's not Benkei bad. But I would like to see him, like, this massive cretin character that having, you know, like, oh nay, Nero is popular, like, then this about like big ass Romulus. Hey boy, bitch, I'm Romulus. I'm the gang king. Something like that. During the moment when I saw the list of orders document for a Caesar of Saber class, I thought that surely is not an Artoria face. Although it was something I thought of, finding the specification for a big fatso was something unexpected. It was a shock to me. Now that sounds actually very, very crude. Given that we planned on material related to Rome, including creative work as well, I got to adopt those materials minutely and design him with such. Well, although, suppose if there was a specification for him as a lean, handsome man, I wonder when the day will eventually come. I'm hoping for one. Come on, okay, I know. Fat people can't be beautiful, but come on, be a little bit nice. Caesar was actually around 52 years old by the time he met Cleopatra. Oh! Why not make him a handsome silver fox then? You know, like Moriarty. Oh, Altera. Oh no. Altera? What? But okay, my thoughts on Caesar. I definitely got way more interested in this character now. Even if I feel as before, like, the class skills, well, the personal skill, like military tactic and charisma, feels oddly low comparing who he is. I guess if it was another class than Saber, I assume he would be, like, much higher. I mean, I could imagine a rider, a 5-star rider, Julius Caesar. I mean, as said, I think for the modern time as we is, if discounting Nero's famity, is that it? No, that is not the word. But otherwise, Julius Caesar is pretty much what most of us think on when we're thinking on Rome. Because he is such a monumental character in history. Like when we say pirate, Blackbeard, or Jack Sparrow, I guess, today, but you know what I mean? He's such a character that is of such importance that we know so much. I mean, if you watch Asterix and Obelix as a kid, or read the books, you know Julius Caesar well from that. And yeah, I would actually love to see more with him like this. And though I still, as I said, I find it a little bit contradicting with how the story is that when he met Cleopatra, he fell in love with her for his first love, and he's regretting that he couldn't announce their relationship and love and their son and all of this stuff. And then he's like going around and want to fuck everything, that other thing that moved. But that was how it was before he met Cleopatra, pretty much. Which I assume, at least. So I would actually like that. But otherwise, I think it's pretty interesting to see him. And I would like to see more and more serious stuff. Because generally, it is feeling like he doesn't get taken serious. Because unlike most characters, he isn't the most handsomely drawn. And yeah, here's a big fatso, as Drill called him. I mean, I could see people getting upset about that. And I don't blame him. I mean, you don't need to rub it in my face that I'm fat. I know that. I know that for many years. And I have problems with it because of my depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. But that's how it is. But I would like to see him like a rider. Then I can imagine him like a slim, elderly man, you know, like Moriarty with his like handsome, elderly, sly fox style. That could be gorgeous. And then now, but with that, otherwise, I like him way more now. Actually, I'm gonna say. And now though, we have Altera. Ooh. That was something I was so surprised about, because my friend Jan Sohai, we were actually talking about Altera way back, and we are not really big fans of her in the game, so to speak. And though he did like the veil she has, I was like, what veil? Because she has short hair, it's just that it's a long veil. I didn't realize that, to be honest. I was like, what? I thought it was like long hair with something in the bottom, so to speak, but she has short hair with a long veil on. That I agree on. That is pretty nice, actually. I just see, like, you barely see any difference in her expression. I mean, her eyes, and she have very limited expressions, obviously. Otherwise, her design, I actually like this one a bit more, with the white swimsuit thing going on there over this, because I'm I kind of generally find these over-sexualized designs a bit bland, to be honest. That is just me. I mean, I understand why it sells and it's popular and get all the young kids excited. And I can say right away, I know she is super popular, and I know people will complain that I have my opinion about her. And as I said, I still haven't played through Extra or Extella and all that and got all of her story and all. I only know her from the game so far, a Fate Grand Order. And I'm gonna say, I like Santa Altera. Very cute, very adorable. I actually like that one. But this one I do not like super much, to be honest. And also I think it because they kind of took away a very interesting character, Attila the Hun, that they could have made a much more interesting character, in my opinion. But that's just me. Ooh, booty! Booty. And I know it's like, oh, she's an alien. But, yeah, I don't buy that. Well, I know she is, but or something like that. It was whatever it was. But, yeah, aliens. What? Public indecency? What's that? Oh, they chopped off her arms. Oh, no. Those shoes, though, is so weird. Like, huh. Saber, female, Central Asian, chaotic good. Really? Or is it just waifuism talking? 160 for that kill. Holy crap. Strength B, Constitution A, Magical Power B, Luck A. Holy crap, that's some insane stats. Sakurai. Ooh, I didn't know that. Huki! Magic Resistance B, Riding A, Divinity B. Although Altera herself has no blood relation with a divine spirit, the fact that she crushed a European world was treated as a show of God's might, to the point where she will cause the Flagellum D, the Scourge of God, in Fear and Awe. That was Altera, who became an heroic spirit upon Earth. What?! But Caesar, that is a descendant by history and all that, descendant to a goddess, is only, what was it, like D? Or C, was it? But... what? Riding, I can see, because I know Attila the Hun and all that, you know. They ride and destroy. Wait, that was Genghis Khan. But they use horses as well, so... But that, I feel, I'm gonna say that right away, that feels a little bit of a bullshit move there, just to make her divine, you know? I mean, I can agree that, okay, that is a reasonable idea, but I don't think it would be a B rank. Oh god, I'm spitting everywhere. That feels like a bit odd. While, as said, Caesar, that is a descendant of that, and... to be fair, how much did Caesar conquer? And if that is like the reason, I mean, obviously, they say that the Scourge of God in Pharaoh, if they called Attila that, but if that is a reason enough, that then I guess there's many characters that would have way different things going on. But okay, maybe I'm just complaining, I know, but I find that just very odd actually, that having Divinity B. Like, that is incredible high. You know? Oh well. Civilization Erasure. Oh, EX. A subconscious active skill of the heroic spirit Altera. Anything within her grasp is transformed into the best form, currently most suited for herself. What? This is based on Altera's own perspective, not necessarily reflecting the object as great or most excellent. Ooh. Wait, what? Anything with a grasp will transform into its best form. Wait, so... What the fuck is this? Do you mean that if she like hold the sword, it transforms into the best form it can be for her? Like... What? And that civilization, I assume it was something like, yeah, she got extra power and ruined buildings or something like that. What is this for a weird-ass ability? That sounds more like a caster thing, if anything. Inner fitness. What? Personal skills. D. Born with a body that is perfected as a life form, she can temporarily increase rank of her strength. But didn't she already have yeah, she have a B in strength. As well, her base design body shape never changed regardless of her calories intake. Oh, okay. I look at food and I get fat. Crest of the Star EX. The unique pattern printed on Altera's body, a strange design does not belong to the Huns, but result of some advanced ritual. The higher the rank, the higher one's attack powers increase. By expanding mana through it, one can temporarily enhance the performance and the desired part of the body. An efficient skill that costs a little mana but lacks the explosiveness of skills like Power Burst. In addition, this unique skill has the effect of the instinct skill. Although Altera would feel like the skill was missing something. What? Okay, lacked explosiveness. It's absolute highest rank. It's EX. And she can literally like power boost herself. Like, holy shit. And it had the effect of the instinct skill. Like, holy moly. How much shit do they pump into this character? Yikes, that's a lot of crazy stuff. Noble Phantom, Sword of the War God, Photo Ray! Rank A, Anti-Army Noble Phantoms, range 1 to 30, maximum target 200 persons, and unknown Noble Phantoms. Thank you for that. It is believed to be formed from a combination of the prowess and terror that let her being feared as a Scourge of God. as well the anecdote about her obtaining a sword of Mars. Her noble phantom is shaped like a longsword, but appears to be a rather futuristic design. Yeah, that one always felt weird to me. The blade, formed of 3 colored brands of light, is said to be capable of destroying any existence upon... What? By releasing its true name, the blade emits a rainbow-like light, charging forth like a meteor. Altera brings a wide-range annihilation to an enemy formation. When its true power is unleashed, its rank and type of novel increase. Wow. So, technically, if gonna believe this, it said capable of destroying any existence. So you mean she literally like, MP, and when she reveal it, well, unleash it, it gets stronger even, like, come on, like, the only form of weakness I have seen so far is like, although to Altera I feel like this skill missing something. Like, okay, it gave all this massive amount of stuff, but it's still missing something. That is like the most negative thing I've seen so far about her. Yikes. I mean, I know I'm very angsty right now, so hold your horses. I'm gonna read through. Maybe my mind changes. With her excellent instinct, she could deal with even the drastics of circumstance without abandoning her reason. A proud and logical fighter. What? However, there's a sort of emptiness. Logical. I mean, to be fair, instinct and logic. I feel, I feel like that is kind of contradicting in a way. I mean, obviously, it's many things to learn, but generally when you see, like, take, for example, an anime character, there are those that are fighting by, being cold, calculating, logical, and then we have those wild cards that is completely random and just fight and survive by pure instinct, like Ruffy versus, I can't come up with a logical fight right now in my mind, but you know what I mean. So it feels like it would contradict each other a bit when you're seeing like that, because if you're relying on on instincts, then logic, when you think about it, might actually intervene. They clash a bit. Maybe it's just me and it do work. Maybe it do. Well, she managed it so far. Regardless of friend or foe, she has some magnanimity for those warriors whose skill before she has a knowledge, but those who stand against her are treated as only obstruction to be removed, and she is fundamentally merciless. There is no hesitation in her blade. In battle she can cool and correctly grasp the situation, becoming a merciless killing machine. Although she recognizes combat as where she truly is in her element, she personally does not like it. She fights because she is a fighter. In the name of violent and unchained god of war, she kills all who stands in her way and destroys civilization before her, nothing more. She is unused and inexperienced in matter outside of war and combat. She was born with a fondness for the god of war, Mars Ares. She would call him Mark. Or she not? What? I thought this on other. It was usually something she preferred. Mark? In truth, she dislikes a more common name of Attila. She does not dislike its meaning, father or control, but rather its sound, and something more attached to the German Etzel. She calls herself Altera and wishes to be known as such, but it's difficult to have her explain the reason. Only the very small number of people she trusts will quite disclose the truth, because it does not sound charming or sweet. Oj då. Sorry, my cat puked there, so I needed to fix that, but... Okay. So the reason why she is named Altera is because I don't like her name Attila, how it sounds. I find that just very odd, actually, but okay. And I still think like Attila is, I think that's a cool name. Better than Altera, but that's me. She treats her masters stoically and recognizes them as a general or advisor-like figure, and will generally go along with anything they say with an I see. Instead of trusting as a human being, the situation is close to a fighting machine on the battlefield that fully relies on external software, the master, to process thoughts. Her wish for the Holy Grail is to live a life not as a warrior. She does not despise the life that she spent fighting, but she is interested to find out how she would have lived otherwise. And that is a nice thing, actually. I think that could be an interesting character in itself. Like, I want to be something different than I am. And I still find it weird, though, that, because she have this very, like, and we have seen that multiple times, like, she act like a machine, like emptiness and all of that. But she is, like, very, like, I don't like the name Attila. No, I don't. Which doesn't sound really like, I mean, as a person that's fighting like a machine, like, and doesn't, and rely on the master for to process force, like, it doesn't feel like a person that would care about what you call them. More is more like, you can call me pretty much what you want, I don't care. And I could see, though, which, hear me out, please. I would actually like if Attila the Hun was a character. And I could see Altera as this person that got the grail to live a life not as a warrior. That I could see, because then she could take, I'm not Attila anymore, I'm Altera. This is the life I got instead of being a warrior. That would be interesting, actually. That would make much more sense to me, in my opinion. And I know that she is like Nero, have lots of fans, and I'm not overly in love with either of them. I don't hate them, I just find them a tad bland, personally, especially Altera, because literally what I've seen, like, destroy Civ, and then the cute dance. That is cute, though, and that I like. But yeah, I'm sorry. Attila the Hun was the overlord who established a great empire in the 5th century. She was a warrior and king of the Huns, the descendant of the Xiongnu. Leading an army of cavalry, the conquest of this great hero covered a great part of the map, from Western Asia to Russia, Eastern Europe, and even Gaul. It is said it was one of the causes for the eventual downfall of the Roman Empire. Hello? Throughout her life, she was always in the midst of battle. Due to the terrifying acts she committed in war, she was greatly feared in the European nation as a scourge of God. She is a pure king of war. In contrast with her martial achievement, she did not succeed politically, and her empire rapidly fell apart and dissolved after her death. However, the awe and dread infused in the name Attila remains in memories of people to this day. Oh, that is interesting. But another question here. I know I'm bringing up a lot, but why is Altera a female? Have we gotten any information about that? Like, why Attila the Hun, like, turned to a woman? I mean, Shanli, I don't mind it in that regard, but as I said, I like if there is an actual reason to it. I mean, I know this might sound like a cheap cop-out or something like that, but I actually made a servant for the FGO RP we have, and it was a male that I turned to a female by the fact that this character, I played with the idea because it was very limited information about this character. I don't remember the exact name, but I actually changed it gender because I thought, like, it's not only a thing today that, transgender people is, that they're finding the right gender, who they actually feel they are not the gender they were assigned at birth, And this character was like that. So when they turned into a servant, I made it like they actually could be who they actually was, so to speak. And they gave that story. So, I mean, Shanli, don't rub your face against the microphone. And that is one idea, But then again, I guess they wouldn't do it here because then they would promote transgender people, and apparently that is a scourge in many places for some reason. Makes no sense to me. But all trans people, I believe in you. But yeah, that is one idea. Rather than like, we want boobies on these characters. And Shanli, Mike, nay, you're not supposed to eat that. That is not food. This is a hairband, you rascallion. But yeah, maybe there is more information down here. I gotta see. Because many times when I'm blabbering about something, I ending up like, oh, there is already information about it. She's an avatar of destruction. An engine of war that sighed down the many lives who stood in her path. That's how she had been made to be, so the Elder of the Huns had said to her that the Altera existed for battle. That she had no father, no mother, that she had been discovered by the Huns, descent of the Xiongnu people. I don't know what that is, actually. Yes, she had no memories of parents, nor friends, nor of family. Instead, the world was filled with enemies. As shown by the marks of war carved into her flesh from the beginning, she lived only to fight. It was her born nature and her role. It was her purpose to exercise her capabilities as intended, and she never held any doubt of the matter. Becoming destruction herself, she fought like a raging tempest, king of the Huns, yet not one of them. It barely even registered to her that she had armies at her back. Destruction, domination, invasion. She could not be sated, even as the land of the Huns grew beyond their ability to control. She merely swung the sword and continued the slaughter. Even in the moment when death came to her, she recalled that she laid in a pool of her own blood. She had fought only ways to fell Rome. However, having become an heroic spirit and taken the form of a servant, she became silently questioning herself. Had she perhaps been too much of a warrior? What if she had not become the embodiment of destruction itself? What if she never gripped the sword of the war god? She'd been feared by Europe as the punishment brought down by their absolute deity. They were whip of God himself. They were whip of God himself. She had been fighting a fighting machine. History had even forgot that she was a woman. Okay, I guess that is how they play with that. What life could she have lived if not as a warrior? What would she have spent her time on? Would she have been a traveler, freely circling the world on the back of a horse? Would she have been a grower of life, tilling the earth as she had seen the people of Europe done? Would she be taking bread in a smouldering oven, hunting birds and the bees in the wild? Would she be learning words and language and writing it down in books? Would she be red in cheeks and gentle smile, have pressed herself into the breast of another? She did not know, but she wondered. Relations, other servants. Also, she must be destroyed. There's no difference between them. That, okay, at least she's not discriminating towards anyone. But that is something I actually think is interesting, you know, that this part, like, how could she been? And that is why I think it would be vastly more interesting to make her, like, you know, living this life, like, and turning into this person she actually wanted to be, her secret desires, you know, not to be a warrior and stuff like that. I think that would be actually way more interesting, and having this Attila the Hun as his own servant, you know. Instead, they took Attila the Hun and turned into waifu, but okay. And I feel like it felt like a very cheap way, you know, like, yeah, you know, history forgot that she was a woman, like, come on. That's pretty cheap, to be honest. That's a very cheap way to go with it, you know. I mean, if they want to gender bend characters, go for it. I at least want to have a reason. I mean, we have Nero. We found out at least that she was cross-dressing. They made that thing. They made Da Vinci. That Leonardo da Vinci literally became Mona Lisa and stuff like that. That is at least giving some more flesh rather than, well, history forgot it was a dude. Hey! And by that fact, this is a woman. And you know, not that I think a woman wouldn't be able to conquer a world. They definitely can. But considering that time, I'm not sure you know, many warriors back then were not women, simply because many saw women like, you know, you should have played with weapons, you know. So, but then again, very progressive when it counts for waifus, of course. I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Caster, although she witnessed the work of Curse in love, as she herself had few ties with magecraft, she held some actual interest in those pure caster who practice. Ooh. Yo, make a caster, Altera? Caster at Castilla. There we go. Dialogue example. My name is Altera. I am a warrior of the god of war. That sounds... wow. And a descendant of the Xingnu. It's not weird, but just one. Warrior of the god of war. Lots of war words. I will demolish that civilization. Please don't. If the Holy Grail serves as a vessel that records everything, then I will simply destroy it. Hey, I will destroy... I mean, come on. What? Why do you need to be so aggressive? And I will triumph up to now as well after this. If you remember correctly, I am also a person called Attila. Personally, I'm not very happy about that. Reason? The reason is, I do not know how to say it. Eventually, there may even be a reason that I can speak up, but as of right now, it is just some... Come on, really? Is... Oh no, that was... I don't know. That... I know I already said it. I'm okay with this destroying and all that, because Attila the Hun was obviously famous for the conquest and all this stuff, but like I'm also a person called Attila, but yeah, you know, I don't like it. I don't know why, I just don't like it. I can't explain it. I feel that is incredible cheap, you know. And I'm saying, maybe, I don't know if they explain more about that in, like, Fate Extell and stuff like that, or whatever games out there that with her in it. But from what I just see here, she's just an very simple-minded character that don't like her name. Miss Altera somewhat... Wait, you call her Miss Altera, but everyone else is like Caesar the Fatso? Like, come on! Someone regrets that she turned into this difficult design where it was hard to put in and depict her having a fighting spirit. Is that why you gave her, like, barely any cloth and a rainbow sword? Yeah, that screams a fighting spirit. Although I received the orders regarding her, there are also many of them that I have not been able to remember by now since the last 2 years or so. But they are very amazing things that we're reading into this setting, huh? What's going on in this? It is feeling in the vein. That setting is not shown yet. Honestly, I want to see. Yeah, I want to see as well. I mean, I'm all for characters, and I know many characters, as I read them like this, might not be as impressive or cool or good, but the more as they give them history and lore in the game itself, I mean, I see it like this. The historical things they have done, we're not going to use FGO as an historical lesson. Sure, we can learn a bit from it, but it's an entertainment product, and the characters in these games form their own history within the game, so to speak. I mean, see all the singularities and stuff, you know? And I'm all for seeing, like, Altera grow as a character, you know? I would love that. Seriously. I might sound extremely harsh and critical, and I know I had a lot of discussion in the past about Altera. But I stand by it. I think she is a very bland character with a design that doesn't really make much sense to me when I say it like this. Even if I said, I like the veil. That is a very cool thing. And I wish they made a bit more effort. Like, yeah, why is Attila the Hun a woman that refused to use the name Attila? Like, she doesn't know why she is like it. And we get like, yeah, history forgot it was a dude. Like, okay. Okay, I guess. You know? And you know what? What I would actually like when I think about it, because they say that history forgot it was a man. Or rather, it's... well, I mean, history forgot it was a woman. Why not make this character an embodiment of chaos? You know? I would actually like, take an armor, like a spooky looking armor, like you don't see any face or anything like that. You don't know if it's a man or a woman, and they are like looking chaotic. Everything about it is just mismatch of armor pieces, stuff like that. That would be cool, and that would make more sense. Like, yeah, history don't even remember what is under this mask, because the only thing they remember was this fear and awe of the scourge of God. You know, that would be awesome. But then again, I know it doesn't they can't compete with waifus after all. And yeah, I know. As said, I'm curious about what her more about her and all of that, so I can form a more opinion about it. But as it is right now, this opinion I have of her is that I don't like her. But if you love her, that is definitely okay. Seriously, it's okay if you love Altera. I'm all for that. It's just not that I don't like her. And it's not that I don't hate her, you know, I still use her, and I like to see her getting improvement. That is the thing. But as many other characters, well, compared to many other characters, I feel she is very bland, you know? But that's because I haven't seen her in the FGO, but I know that I can't compare with the knowledge of others. But yeah, if you love her, that is okay. If you don't like her at all, if you hate her, that is also okay. And you're all free to disagree with me and my opinions about these characters, both Caesar and Altera and Nero and all of that. But in the end, I just hope people don't turn into complete craze fest about this. Because I know it can be, especially when it comes to waifus and husbandos, that it's very easy to be like very gnarly about this stuff. But you know, in all though, this is for entertainment, and I just wanted to bring my little thoughts, however dumb they actually are, to this character. Somehow this sword, when I think about it, reminds me of this pencil, you know, multicolored pencil, this thick pencil, and you could take down different colors. Reminds me of that, actually. But yes, that is my final thought. I think Altera is an character, but I hope to see her getting improvement, and her Santa altar is very cute. Caesar, to be honest, comparing Caesar and Altera from what I've read here so far, I put Caesar way above her, actually. Even if their designs is... Her design is mostly like, you know, sexualized, a feeling. Caesar's like, they just made him fat, so... Like, so the designs in that regard is like, for me. They're okay. I mean, I can see them using these, and I'm, okay, whatever. It's nothing for me per se, so. But Caesar's story and character and all that feels way more interesting than Altera. Even if I know she is supposed to be the embodiment of chaos. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Oh god, my throat is so dry. But yes, I will be back. I need to drink. Thirsty. But yes, I will be back next week with more. Hopefully, we'll see when it will be. So thank you everyone. See you later on, and have a continued super great day.